we went to the more traditional boys' school, the most traditional boys' school in the New York City private school system, and it was a bait and switch. We were there K through third grade with our eldest. So when we got to the third grade, which was before George Floyd, it was before the huge explosion of wokeness as we now know it, that school unleashed a 3-week transgender education program on our 8 and 9-year-old boys, showing these videos of guys in tutus, suggesting if you like purple, you might be a girl. It transformed over the next year plus, because we were there during 4th grade too, to raise your hand if you still think you're a boy. Do you still think you're a boy? They got rid of the term boy. They got rid of the term son. Now it's your student. Come collect your student. Moms and dads, same thing, gone. They don't like that term. They had a system where the boys would hold up their fists when they were discussing the trans stuff and explaining to them that there are over 100 genders. You had to do like 5. Can I swear?
Sure.
So fucking confused. 0, I got it entirely. And, our son was like, everybody was like, 5. We're like, what are we sending them to school? This is 4th grade. They're supposed to be learning about fractions. They're not supposed to be learning about this nonsense. And then the race essentialism exploded in an incredibly divisive way.
And they were told, if you're a white, you're a racist.
They were told, not the children, but the faculty was on the list. So it basically started with a diversity group that wanted mandatory readings that were circulated amongst us first, because I was in the diversity group. Then the message they wanted distributed was, in every classroom where white children learn, there is a future killer cop. White mothers are indoctrinating their children in Black death, encouraging Black death with impunity. We need to have studies on why white mothers are encouraging this. Okay, that was the boys' school. Over at my girls' school, it was no better. They went absolutely nuts after George Floyd. When Derek Chauvin was tried and convicted, they handed out to the 4th grade girls a Newzilla article. This is a summary of what happened in the Derek Chauvin verdict. Let's talk about it after. Read it. The girls start talking. One little girl, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. And the teacher stands up and says, this country has a massive problem with police killing unarmed Black men. Not true. Just not true. And one little girl says, to her credit, wasn't George Floyd resisting arrest? And the teacher says, they always try to blame the victim. And then my daughter said, wasn't George Floyd on a lot of drugs? And the teacher said, this conversation is making me uncomfortable and we are shutting it down right now.
Is this a white teacher, a Black teacher?
One was Black, one was white. They were both on the same page. That's where we are right now. And no critical thinking is allowed. You must only take the one point of view. Even though we've told you to read this, all this information was in the article. And then we can discuss it. You're going to learn the hard way that certain points of view are not okay to mention, ever. You're on the wrong side. You've made me uncomfortable. You need to stop talking. So yeah, we left.
Every classroom has a killer cop is weird, because most of these kids are not going to become cops.
Oh my God. I mean, it was like, okay, so who is it? Is it my little 6-year-old? Is it his sweet little friend? Like, are you? And honestly, we had this underground group of parents from all backgrounds, of all different races, religions, etc., that was trying to push back against this. And some of our Black friends who were opposed to this nonsense, I mean, they went to the best schools and graduate schools and law schools in the country. Their children, their sons at this school, were in no way less than or up against a greater challenge than any of their white colleagues, their white little classmates. And they objected to the messaging being given that, you're really behind it. I'm sorry, we'll try to help you get beyond your inherent disadvantage. They didn't want that messaging.
So this is a private school. You would think they would hear from their customers and back off.
They haven't. Even since I've gone public, I just received a message from a friend the other day saying they're just as bad. And it's not just them. Brearley, one of the biggest girls' schools and best in the country, is now applying parents explain their commitment to DEI. And then not only do you have to do that to get in, once you're in, you have to pledge that you will message to your children, this family supports diversity, equity, and inclusion, and anti-racism, a la Kendi, and we expect you to live that. They're actually trying to change the way you parent at home, or you can't go to their school.